Amongst the men from the Ramsey area that died in the Third Battle of Ypres was Cecil Edwards. Cecil Edwards was my relative. Cecil grew up here in Ramsey Heights, where his dad farmed land on Lotting Fen. When he was 21 years old, Cecil decided to leave his job as a farm labourer in Ramsey Heights. He left London on a liner called Salamas on the 27th of October 1908, destined for Sydney, Australia. Cecil worked on farms in Australia for the next 8 years or so until it was rumoured that he wished to return to England. In search of free passage back to Europe, he joined the Australian Army. 29-year-old Cecil signed up on the 3rd of October 1916 at Passchendaele in New South Wales. He was 5 feet 9.5 inches tall and weighed 11 stone 3 pounds. Cecil boarded the ship Suvi at Sydney Harbour on the 11th of November 1916. Over 2 months later, Cecil arrived by ship in England. The ship was docking at Devonport in Plymouth on the 3rd of January 1917. Once in England, Cecil trained with the 14th Training Battalion before departing from Folkestones on the 26th of April 1917 as part of the 8th 53rd Battalion Australian Infantry Force. Cecil docked in Etaples on the French coast 2 days later. It wasn't long before, on the 14th of May, Cecil was admitted to the 14th Australian Field Ambulance suffering from shell shock. He was transferred to hospital with a diagnosis of concussion and stayed there for 6 days before being passed on as healthy, returning to his battalion for active services on the battlefields around Ypres. On September the 15th, Cecil's battalion marched from Stevewood to Renninghurst, a small town behind the lines known for its bars and concert parties. After resting there for a day or two, they marched towards the front line east of Ypres. On the 22nd of September, they arrived here, in a field that lies behind me, an area known as Halfway House. This was an encampment just south of the Menin Road, not far from the village of Zeebeek. You can probably make out the cars travelling along the Menin Road in the distance today. The battalion was bivouacked at Halfway House, conducting tactical working parties, resting for the period 22nd, 26th September, before they were due to mount an attack in the area of Glencorse Woods that you can see in the distance behind me. Cecil was killed in action on the 23rd September 1917. The battalion diary states that the enemy shelled the vicinity extremely heavily at periods, causing a number of casualties during the period. Cecil may have died as a result of this. Like many soldiers who died in the Third Battle of Ypres, Cecil has no known grave and is commemorated on the Menin Gate in Ypres.